Hey, what's up, you guys? This is me, Arshawn. Hey, this one I'm doing real quick is kind of for the females, young ladies out there, single women, single moms, all that good stuff. Hey, I kind of want to touch on this subject because I keep seeing different types of ads, and I see people making comments about this whole situation, and I'm making this one more or less specifically for the women to kind of help them understand some things that they might not understand when it comes to finding or having someone, a potential partner in your life for a long-term goal, and how, us guys, men, kind of do look at, a woman and how we are wanting to build with them, okay? Of course, today with media, a lot of these young ladies, a lot of the women out here are not ashamed to make that fast buck by unfortunately showing off, their goods. And if, again, I'm not knocking if that's how you make your money, that's very understandable. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But at the same time, a lot of these situations, especially when it comes to relationships, involves respect. And a lot of women, the first thing they say is, what can you do for me, or how is this going to benefit me and all that. I've seen a lot of women say, oh, well, I want a boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Now, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, if you're over the age of 30 and you're talking about you and a boyfriend, that's a problem, because women over 30 should obviously be trying to settle down if that's something they want in their life. You get what I'm saying? If not, then trying to find a boyfriend or talking ill will of, men who aren't treating you a certain way that you want to be treated. Well, I kind of think that revolves around what you were actually looking for. You know what I mean? You have other instances where, a lot of these ladies are not realizing, they make statements, like I said, there's been videos of with TikTok, of both sides of the stories when it comes to, relationships that involve children, with other parents in the picture or other children in the picture. A lot of these things depict, what kind of a relationship that you're gonna have, will have, want to have, and will want to sustain in the future. You know what I mean? I think a lot of women today, especially here in America, and this is probably where this is more aimed towards, but they look for control in a sense. And I know, that's like kind of being outspoken or kind of broad with it, but kind of let me explain, okay? Most African American women are raised to be tough. You hear the stereotype, single parent home, whatever the case may be, okay? So yes, a lot of the women in the United States were taught to be tough, taught to be independent, but not only that, dude, they were taught not that they were taught, they lost the ability to be feminine. And when I say that is because if you ever notice today, even not really knowing a person, but just being a gentleman, opening up a door for a young lady or a lady at a store, like they get offended. You know what I mean? Or you don't have to open the door for me, or I can do it myself. Not realizing that for some real men, like us that were taught, that's what we were taught. We were taught it doesn't matter if you can do this or not. It's some men's responsibility, to treat a woman like a woman. You get what I'm saying? And again, a lot of what happens today is women, they have this mentality where I can do it all by myself. Well, and that's fine. You get what I'm saying? That's fine. But at the same token, if you're wanting somebody to be a part of your life, you can't adapt that same mentality, because just like you have needs, that other person has needs. You see what I'm saying? And anything that, you bring into the table, and I'm not talking about, finances wise, that's a whole nother topic. I'm just talking about relationship status, being with somebody, with one, even entertaining a thought. These are some things that you have to think about, when putting yourself out there, okay? Now, if you're a type of lady who wants to have a relationship and still be out there, then why even bother? A lot of women want men to kiss their ass, and I'm sorry to say it like that. You know what I mean? Want them to treat them like, royalty, while the women don't do shit. I'm not saying it's all situations, but a lot, where the women don't want to put in. You get what I'm saying? She don't want to be a part of. You get what I'm saying? There's some women out here who can't even or don't even know how to accept, a real man. And when I say a real man, I mean a man who has a job, a man who can sustain on his own without a woman. You get what I'm saying? Some women find that hard for them because there's nothing that they can. And again, I'm not saying all women, so please don't take. I said some women. The ones that are having difficult times trying to settle down, the ones that are trying to have, the ones that are having a hard time trying to find that other half. These are the women that I'm talking to, or trying to help, or trying to open up their eyes, or maybe help them see that there are some things that they might be doing within themselves. You get what I'm saying? That are keeping them back from potentially having a good relationship with someone. You know what I mean? Not only that, everybody in itself, when it comes to relationships, there's a certain how can I say this, quality, I guess, when it comes to a relationship, and quality and security. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I want to know that the quality and the security in the relationship is on both of our behalf. You understand what I'm saying? What I've noticed in my time here is a lot of the ladies who have been, single for a while, or who have issues with finding happiness in relationships, have some kind of, unfortunately, some kind of addiction. Majority of it being alcohol. I've seen a lot of women who are very dependent on wine or some type of alcohol, to keep them going through, to that next day, to that next. In some situations, ladies, yes, that's okay, you know what I'm saying? But if it's a daily thing, you know what I mean? And if you're with a real man, that we would see that as a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because for me personally, I couldn't have somebody that's in my life, you know what I'm saying, that who was dependent on alcohol on a day-to-day basis. So if a woman comes at me and I know that she has a drinking problem, you get what I'm saying, or that I know it's not going to work, because I'm not for myself going to degrade myself, you know what I'm saying, to entertain the thought of being with a woman because she drinks. And I say that because, if you're trying to be with somebody, you're going to do what that person does. You get what I'm saying? So if I smoke weed and a lady doesn't smoke weed, you know what I'm saying, but because I smoke weed, she's going to start smoking weed, you get what I'm saying? Then for me as a man, I would try my best to deter, hey, this is not something that you do. You get what I'm saying? So why do this? When it comes to alcohol in certain scenarios, things are different. You get what I'm saying? Because when it comes to like a woman drinking, you get what I'm saying, as opposed to a man drinking, okay, girls go out, they have drinks, things happen, you get what I'm saying, and then that's what the excuse is, or not. I'm not gonna say excuse. That was the reasoning behind the way things happen. You get what I'm saying? Is because I was drinking, I was drunk, whatever. And if that's something that you're used to doing, and you find yourself in similar situations all the time by going out, by getting drunk, and you're wondering why you're not finding anybody, it's because if it's the same place that you're going, everybody knows who you are. You understand what I'm saying? They know what you're about. They know what you're going to do. They know, what they have to do to get what they want from you, in other words. You get what I'm saying? That's not attractive to a real man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, me personally, dude, I would not be with somebody who's on something different than I am, and I respect somebody who respects themselves enough to say, hey, well, I'll use myself as an example again. If I smoke weed and a young lady that I'm interested in does not like the fact that, I smoke weed, or doesn't know, I have to understand that fact and either fix it, you know what I'm saying, or recognize it and let it go. Hey, maybe this is not for me. You understand what I'm saying? So there's things that, we all, can do to help identify, what we really want, the type of relationship we want, how to go about it, and communication in a relationship, that'll help build it to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, with the way things are going on today, there's so much competition within the man and the woman about who's responsible for what, who can do what, who wears the pants, who wears the thong, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? We're in a generation, where we're at war, with who's ahead of what, who's doing this, who's doing that, who's bringing in this, you understand what I'm saying? And that's not how it should be, especially if you're looking for happiness. You know what I mean? Again, if you're comfortable with the lifestyle that you're living, or you recognize the lifestyle that you're living, and you realize that that life is probably what's holding you back from finding happiness in a relationship. If that's again what you're wanting, then these are some things that I have to address, and this is why I'm bringing it to the table. Now, this, like I said, this one's mostly for single women, who is wanting relationships and maybe don't understand why things are not coming to them, you know what I'm saying? Or, wondering why certain situations may be happening to them, or a repeated pattern, or repeated, you know what I mean? Hopefully this will give them some insight on as to why that may be happening. Again, I'll be having more videos. My next one's going to be up for the guys. I do still have to finish up the one for the guys for the domestic violence, so that one's going to be next. That I talk about here on the YouTube channel. I did have the first financial institution and banking information up. That was just the first series, or part one of a 4-part series to help explain, how to help better save, manage, and spend your money, and how to actually profit from banks and other sources. So I hope everybody's paying attention and keeping up. I pray that everybody's doing good. I love you guys. I want everybody to stay up. Be safe out there. Please keep your head in a swivel. Pay attention. And if you have any questions, concerns, Light Touch Healing Hands Reiki LLC. That's the email as well if you need me. I have a YouTube page. I am also on Instagram. And I am also on Facebook. Hope everybody's doing good. Have a good rest of your evening. One.